Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Secretary, for being here. Seniors are feeling the full weight of the cost of living crisis, and this has been created under your Liberal government. Canadian food inflation is nearly double the Bank of Canada's target, and food prices have been rising 48% faster here in Canada than in the United States. After a decade of Liberal inflationary deficits, it's not just food, it's the cost of housing, heating, and basic necessities that have gone up. The situation is particularly dire for those living on fixed incomes who don't have the flexibility to absorb higher costs. So as the Secretary of State for Seniors, are you actively advocating within Cabinet for an end to the government's inflationary deficits that are driving up costs and making life harder on seniors that are on fixed incomes?
So, seniors, yes, are on fixed incomes. I think it's important to remember that Canada has one of the world's best pension regimes. And this pension...
Right, but my question was about, are you advocating for them within Cabinet? That was my question.
I'm sorry, you had several questions embedded in one question.
I had one question. I had some statements and then I had one question. Is if you're advocating for seniors within Cabinet?
Absolutely, I'm advocating for seniors within Cabinet. That's my primary mandate. I spoke to that with respect to my answer from one of the members of the Liberal caucus.
But with respect to that, your government created a two-tier retirement age by giving the 10% OAS boost to only those seniors that were over 75. So that actually left seniors 65 to 74 out and behind from that increase. And it is also your Liberal government that's created uncertainty and financial hardship for seniors. So the Bloom Finance report found that 76% of seniors say rising costs are eroding their retirement savings. And Stats Canada reports that nearly half of working seniors aged 65 to 74 say they're still working out of financial necessity. So they're working because they have to work, because everything is too expensive. So this is the reality facing seniors under your government. So how do you justify a high tax and high spend agenda that fuels inflation while seniors are forced to choose between heating, eating, and essential medications that they need?
Sorry, what was your question?
How do you justify a high tax and high spend agenda that is fueling inflation while seniors are forced to choose between eating, heating, and medication that is a necessity for them? Because it was your government that created the two tiers of seniors.
So you're asking about the difference between the
seniors
75 and up?
cannot get by. They have saved.
I'm just trying to understand your question.
Well, I'm sorry that you don't understand it. I don't know how much more plain. I'm a big advocate for plain language, and this is in pretty plain language.
And your initial question was about taxation and our budget plan.
My first question was about if you advocate for seniors in Cabinet. That was my first question.
And I answered that question. I'm trying to get clarity.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we can allow the Secretary of State to complete her sentence before we interject. I mean, I understand. I know time is limited.
I'm lenient. It's the member's time to question, so I'll resume with the member, but please respect one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. And I do take issue with that. I am respectful. I am a respectful member of this committee. I'm sorry that I guess my questions just seem to be difficult. My question is on the cost of living. The cost of living is increasing. How are these seniors that are on fixed income that your government has then created more pressure by creating two tiers of seniors, some that get a boost and others that don't, basically saying you're having a harder time, then you're having a harder time, so because you fall in this category, you get more money, when in reality, the cost of living for them, especially them, because they're on fixed incomes, they don't have more income coming in, or they have to go back to work in order to not live on the streets, in order to pay for medication, in order to be able to put food on the table. And we had heard from my colleague, Ms. Roberts, how there are seniors taking in students, for example, so that they can have a place to live. So why do you support, and why does your government support a high tax and high spend agenda?
With respect to seniors, it is really important that we invest in seniors. So our government is investing in old age security. We're investing in those who are 75 and older, as I mentioned, who have
The two-tier
higher
system
needs,
that your government
who
created.
have higher needs, and those higher needs need to be addressed. And so by ensuring that there's additional funds for those seniors, we're helping to address poverty. And this means
But they're still living in
that
poverty and they're being forced back to
seniors
work.
are-
Thanks, Secretary.
That means that seniors.
Ms. Falk, we've gone beyond. Mr.
Thank you very much, Chair. I've been hearing you say a lot, Secretary, about dignity of seniors and ensuring that seniors have dignity. And I think that dignity is making sure that seniors can live within their means and make choices for themselves. If you talk to many seniors, many of them want to age out in their own home. They want to stay in their own communities. And I do note that in your opening remarks, you said it's important that seniors accessing services that they need where they are. So in saying this, why is your government supporting the shutting down of rural post offices?
You know, in terms of what is happening with Canada Post and the plans with respect to the future of Canada Post, I really can't speak for my colleague. What I can
But
say,
this contradicts keeping seniors in their communities and in their homes. When you go into rural areas, a lot of times the post office is where a lot of seniors will get their socialization for the day. They'll go out, get their mail. It's a thing that they do. So I guess I'm seeing a contradiction in what you're saying in your opening remarks of seniors accessing services where they are. And I'm just using the example of rural post offices.
Yeah, so if I was able to finish my answer, what I do know is that with respect to the rural post offices, there is a priority to ensure that rural postal services remain intact. I'm not aware of any
But your
plans
government's
that are in
in
place
agreement
with respect
with
to closing
closing
down
those
rural
post
post
offices.
offices. Sorry,
So
the
there's a
interpreters
contradiction.
can't hear
There's-
both of us when you're talking
There's a
over
contradiction,
me.
and you're
the
wasting
interpreters
time.
can't.
You're wasting my time.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Chair.
Order, well, to both. Thank you, Ms. Falk, Madam Secretary. And I would again ask members, it's your time, but please respect both the person giving the testimony as well as the question.